everyone, Ladylike Opinions. This is my review of Love Island Season 7, Episode 31. So Huda pulls Alandra to the side and asks her how she is feeling with Nick, her and Nick's situation. And she says she is actually happy because this is the second chance that they get at this and explore their connection with a clear mind. They have a great platonic friendship, a great bond, a great connection, friend-wise. Huda asks, was she attracted to him? And she was like, yeah, I mean, I did kiss him on the first date. And the groundwork has already been planned out since day one. Huda said it was there and we didn't realize it was there. They can now focus on each other with no regrets, and Huda says she is excited for them. Alandra said her journey here has been a roller coaster. Huda said she is excited for them. Alandra said her journey here has been a roller coaster, and she's just glad that Huda said she's glad that she's still here, and we can make which kind of was a foreshadowing for me, but I don't know. And but they hug it out and say I love you. Pepe tells Iris everything he said was true, and Iris said she has explored every single person in here, but Pepe, she felt like he was someone she couldn't touch. So I guess she felt like he was someone that was off limits. Pepe said they are going to let this play out. Brian is happy to hear the things that Amaya said about him. He says she stays in Brooklyn, he stays in Boston, so it would be an easy transition for him to go see her. And she said she asked would he come to New York, and he said he was there a week before he came there. And she tells him that first day should be in the city, and then they kiss. And she said she has no regrets. Amaya's in the mirror singing to herself, and I'm just so tickled because Amaya is Lord. Nick tells Ace how weird he feels because he's excited to be closed off with someone. He was excited to be closed off with someone because it took a lot for him to get to that point. And Iris said Pepe is very sexualized. Like, girl, what? I don't know. Huda said she can see herself with Chris. She can see them turn into something outside of the villa. Shelly talks to Alandra and she says the same thing. She has been saying that it's crazy. Like, I'm tired of her saying the same thing. So we know, like, has it always been there? I'm sick of hearing it. And then she hear the guys screaming, and the guys are having a pillow fight. Shelly and Alandra look at each other and said, B, what the F? We effing with some little kids. That tripped me out. The guys had put a condom or something on Huda pillow, and she said, oh, y'all trying to set me up. And they did. And they in their sleep, and the couples was moving at Huda and Chris' bed. What the other people name is? Iris and Pepe. So now Iris is 2 for 2. Pepe 2 for 2. Huda 2 for 2. What the hell wrong with y'all? Is this I'm fooling around island? Fooling around. That what this is? Child. Should have forgot where I was at. They in their sleep and they hear babies crying when they wake up. Shelly said she didn't know what it was, and she put her head right back under the covers. And Ace said, why you cursing around the babies? They done gave Ace and Shelly twins. Pepe and Iris got twins too. Huda said she got PTSD from this, and I felt her with it because they did. I could never go back. Then the babies were in there cutting up bad. Then Shelly get a text. The text said, good morning, Islanders. You are now parents for the day. Enjoy your new bundles of joy. Each couple has a baby to feed, comfort, and change. And a rear care baby infant stimulator will register and record our Islanders' interactions. Ace pushing them 2 strollers had me hollering. And Pepe and Iris got twins. Ace wanted to name the boy Apollo, and Shelly named the girl Chase for Shelly and Ace because Ace wanted an A name for the boy and a C name for the girl. So y'all hollering Shalace and they saying Chase. I like Chase. So because it actually was a chase for them to get together. And Ace gonna say she said so they can get the baby's names added on his back with his name Ace. And Ace said the third one is cooking up, so she we gonna see if I get lucky tonight. I don't know why Ace lying. Why Ace tell them kids he run a tight ship and it ain't gonna be no back talk, and then the baby start crying. And where is Shelly? I don't know where Shelly was. Ace over there with them babies by himself. He said he the fun parent, and Shelly said no, he panics and she is calm. When Amaya told that baby, it's okay to cry. Your mom is a crybaby too. I was like, something is wrong with Amaya. Amaya named her baby Elijah. She said she a mother now, no drama. Iris and Pepe done left their twins laying on the counter while they cooking breakfast. I'm like, CPS, please. So they named their baby Lois and Peter for, what he say, traditional name, family names, I don't remember. Alandra and Nick named their baby Hilton. Taylor and Clark named theirs Aaliyah. Huda and Chris named theirs Leia. Huda said this is easy for her, but she don't miss the crying. She did ask Chris how many kids he want. And I was like, I could have sworn he already had this conversation, but okay. And he said 3 at the least for 5 max. And she said, oh, dang, my coochie about to be done for. Why Ace told Clark, or wasn't he telling Shelly that, but he was looking at, I guess, like, she wasn't being a real mama. And Clark said she liked Taylor being a dad because she let him do the work because he liked being a dad. So Ace tells Taylor he may be the only fit parent there. So why Taylor over there pointing out everybody and what they doing wrong, so they just unfit. And Alandra and Nick realized their baby's a boy, not a girl. So now the name is Marcel, which is Nick's middle name. Where Nick get that middle name from? So Chris tells Amaya she left the baby alone, and she runs back and say, don't call CPS. This episode was too funny. Alandra and Ace fight over the bonnet on the baby head, and she said, well, give me the do-rag off your head. And then he said, you better take your ass to the stuff like everybody else around here. Meanwhile, Alandra gonna rip the bonnet off the baby. She ripped the bonnet off the baby head. And Maya's excited to be a mother for the day, talking about some, we just gave birth and the men are downstairs being men. Ace and Taylor told the other guys if they baby cries, they got to get out because they gonna wake up their baby. And Ace tells Taylor to stop cursing around the baby. So Chris tells Brian his baby mom is funny and she left the baby alone. And Brian said he was alright. I was right there. I was watching him. He liked the son. He Latino. And they laugh. And I don't know, Chris like little nitpicks he be saying about Amaya, and I don't know, I don't want to read too much into it, but I don't know, it's like he says different things about her. Chris then said his job is already easy because Hoodie is already a mom, so he just let her do her thing. He clocks in, clocks out. Yeah, right. So Huda said she woke up fast this morning, grabbed the baby and started rocking her. She felt like she was back holding her daughter. So it sounds like Pepe and Iris had sex the last night. Yeah. Brian's baby starts crying. Ace and Taylor kick him out. Ace looking like a real daddy told that baby to not wake his brother up. And he was like, don't wake your brother up. I just put him to sleep. And then he turned around talking about some what do you say? Ah, dang, you done woke him up. So Maya and Shelly looking out the window laughing at the guy stressing. Ace tried to get the baby his phone, talking about some play with the camera. Nick tells Ace last night he thought it was going to be platonic with him and Alandra, but when they got in the bed, they was cuddling. Alandra kept throwing it back on him, and he was like, if she threw it back one more time, it was going to go down. And he said he kept getting flutters all in his chest and all parts of his body. He never felt that with Alandra before, and if she don't stop, something like crazy happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen because she ain't gonna give it to you, baby. Ace calls him freaky deaky, but said hold on, my daughter shouldn't be listening to this, and he moved the girl away and said, but my son can listen. He asked Nick was Alandra receptive, and he said yes. And Huda screams out that Chris would be leading a daddy and mama baby yoga session. Huda baby starts crying. She runs and asks Chris what is he doing. The baby shouldn't be sitting up, can't even hold his head. I don't know why he had that baby sitting up like that. So she said Chris giving her anxiety with the baby. In her confession, she said she has to remember Chris has never had a child, and her situation is different from everybody in here in the future. If she was having more kids, she needs to make sure the person is 100%. And I kind of like understood her taking this challenge serious because she is a mom, and if she feel this challenge is gonna make her look bad, like, was she a bad mama? So I kind of saw where she was going. And Chris asked, did anyone want to get anything off their chest before they started the yoga? Ace said Nick and Alandra's son was being annoying. He asked a few more couples how they felt, and Huda said, oh, just F me then. Shelly yells out, what about y'all? What about y'all, baby? And Huda whispers to her like, girl, that's F right now. And Taylor calls Huda name, and Chris said they got the best baby in the world. And Huda say, F me then again. Like, girl, what was your problem? We find out what your problem was later on. They were doing a downward dog, and Amaya just burst out and said, this is what Brian was doing to me last night. Like, girl. Alandra tell Ace he been coming for that baby all day, and Ace said we don't even know if that's Nick baby. Alandra said, what you mean? He looked just like him. And they all started laughing. Huda asked Chris was he going to put her mat back, and she is obviously very irritated about something. The way Brian was with the baby when it started crying melted my heart just a little bit. And Amaya loves how he is with the baby, and she says, I'm a baby too, so come pick me up, like that. Like, something is wrong with that girl. She said she wants to be the fun parent and wants her kids to follow normal traditions, like believe in the Tooth Fairy, believe in Santa Claus. She want to get dressed up as all this type of stuff. She wants them to have the normal traditions that, you know, you're supposed to have. And I did the same, so I understood. So Taylor said father life is great, and he is the fun parent while Clark is strict. Taylor said they've been just letting their baby sleep. Everybody else baby been boo-hooing and diarrhea in the diaper, and all they been doing is just letting their baby sleep. So Iris wants to be a mom one day. She said that it's a way of looking at a better version of yourself. The girls are upstairs having brunch while the boys are downstairs being fathers. Shelly cheers to womanhood, motherhood, and parenthood. Ace asks the boys do they feel some type of way that the girls get to have fun and they don't. Pepe said they gonna have some fun with it, and Taylor suggested they should put the babies in the stroller and race around the villa with them. So they gonna have a daddy Olympics. Pepe tells someone with a single baby to help the boys with the double babies. Pepe said the point was to not make the babies cry, get through the relay race. They had a whole obstacle course ready, and then all the babies crying and the girls screaming the boy's name, and they was like, oh, they ignoring us. So Hoodie's pissed. She tell Chris she didn't like the color shirt he was putting on the baby, and he said shut up, and she was like, watch your mouth. Now I don't know what made him tell that girl to shut up, but Lord. But Brian won, and Amaya screamed, yes, that's my baby daddy. So Ace said Brian cheated. He didn't do the rest of the squat. So everybody laughing at them, but Huda asked Chris why was he ripping stuff off the baby head while she was screaming. And he said she didn't even cry. That was somebody else's baby crying. And Huda said, well, next time don't be ripping stuff off. And he said, next time don't be like, I don't like that color of that shirt. Now she said she was playing around. Yeah, right. And in his confessional, he said he a little stressed because Huda is bossy, and he don't know if that's the mother in her that she's just taking. She has to be in control all the time. And she tells him not to tell her to shut up. And he said, all right. And Nick and Alandra are enjoying being parents. And she said Nick scared her at first, but he is a great parent right now. Alandra said all Ace and Shelly did was argue, which shocked them because they was up here. Now they down here. And, Nick asked Alandra how many kids she wanted to have. And she said max 4, minimum 2. Nick said max 4, minimum 3, minimum 2 for him. Would 4 would be too much, would be a lot. He asked Alandra could she be a single mom. Why he asked her that, I do not know. She said she wouldn't want to be one, but if push came to shove and she should be one, she gonna do the best she can because she was raised by one. Nick said by the way his parents raised him, how they stuck together, that's really important to him, and he wants to be super involved with whatever his partner has done, and he wants everything to be 50-50. Alandra said seeing Nick in dad mode made him more attractive. He always took care of her and Marcel's needs, and she was able to, let the wheel go a little bit. Ace said he tied, and Shelly asked if that was their baby, and he said yeah, I changed him. And the fact that you don't even know that that's your own child is crazy. She said she seen that outfit on another baby, so she was confused. A said, God forbid a factory produced the same shirt your baby has. He said, Shelly's a great mom by herself. I'm a great dad by myself. And it's just a matter of us coming together and being mom and dad together. They're going to have to work on their teamwork together as a couple. Then they argue about not getting credit, saying good job to the other one. A said she was trying to gaslight him because she didn't give him credit today. She tells him they gonna need parents in class. Hoodie is folding clothes and Chris comes over and asks like, does she like folding clothes? And she said, no, y'all left the place a mess, so I'm cleaning. She said a lot of stuff was triggering her, and he said he could tell and wanted to talk to her about it. She said being a mom in early on, the early stages, she was pretty much doing everything by herself. Chris asked if it was anything he was doing wrong that affects her mood, because when something goes wrong, he be confused by what happened. She didn't like the fact earlier that he skipped her, and he agrees he did. She said he put his mat away without putting hers away, when she the one who brought all the mats out. And he said he did put it away, and she said, after I asked you. And so he agreed and said he understood that. She said it's little things she pays attention to it, and he listened, and she asked what she needed to work on. And instead of being honest with her, he just asked her for a kiss, and she was like, right now. And I don't know why he wasn't just honest with her at that point, because child. So the couples go in the photo booth, have a little family photo shoot. The results are in. The couple that parented their baby the best was Clark and Taylor. And then Iris and Pepe passed, Hood and Chris passed, Nick and Alandra passed, with Shelly and Ace Brian and Amaya failed. And Shelly and Alandra arguing about who kids are bad. Alandra told Shelly her kids were bad, and Shelly said, nah, girl, Marcel come around and don't know how to act. And Alandra said Marcel went to private school, so he good. So Taylor said Clark brings out a side of him he never knew he had, and he has never liked a girl like this before. Nick tells Alandra that he took today as a reality, and he looks forward to being a father one day. And he looked online on ChatGPT on how to be a single dad with adoption, I think he said. He wants a travel buddy to explore and take the world on with. And he said that that's what his parents did with him. And she asked where had he been. He said he'd been to Thailand and Iceland. He said places like Thailand and Iceland. And Alandra said she went last year for her birthday. And Nick said he need to go to Alabama one day because he never been. And Alandra asked, have he been to a college football games? And he said, yeah, some. And she said, Alandra said she is an Auburn fan. Nick couldn't believe, because she from Alabama, she was an Auburn fan, but she went to Tuskegee college or whatever. And I understood this so much, because people think just because you from that town, you're supposed to represent that town. And I love college football better than the NFL. And I love when the guys get drafted from Mississippi State and Ole Miss, but as far as them being my favorite teams, now HBCUs, I'm gonna rock with HBCUs regardless, but it is what it is. And she says she loves college football because she liked to root for the underdogs. And when I tell you, I understood that so much, because that is me. I love an underdog story, like, because Devontae Smith is from Alabama, and he was always the underdog because he's little, but he just won the Super Bowl, and he played a big part in it. And Smitty is that guy. If you know, you know. So she said she loved being at home on Saturdays when it's college football season, and all she do is watch football. And he said the small talks with her makes him feel like they're outside in the villa, and he thanks her for giving him a piece of home. Brian is loving him some Amaya way better than when he was with Andrina. He said that, not me. He likes that she calls him babe. Chris said him and Huda had a small hiccup earlier because she has a lot of PTSD from her being a mom and stuff. And Brian said you can't fault her for that. And Chris agrees. Chris said he really does like her, and he folded last night. And Brian was like, what? Yeah, when? Last night? And Brian was like, and he was like, yeah. So Chris said them having sex was a great step into their physical connection. They do not show, and it made them stronger. No, you finna turn her into a, ooh, baby. Like, y'all, that's 2 for 2 for Huda too. Sure, y'all don't have no shame. What was that it? Brian said he respected how long he didn't held out, but he don't know how long he gonna take. He not gonna turn down too many shots. And Ace tell Nick he seen him talking to Alandra for a very long time, and Nick said he really has a good time talking to her. And Shelly is talking to Alandra, and Shelly tell Alandra we ain't had our talk yet, so what's tea? So Alandra asked her if looking at them on the outside does it look natural, and Shelly says yes. And Shelly said, give me details. Ace said he loves Alandra and her and Nick loyalty runs deep. He asked Nick was he going to pursue it in a romantic way, and he said yes. He is definitely going into the right direction. Ace tells him he is happy for him. Alandra says she has learned from this process and you have to be selfish. And she said she struggled with that so much, but last night picking Nick was her finally putting herself first without thinking of anyone else. Nobody else feelings, none of that. She said as selfish as that was last night, it felt good. Shelly said, I'm behind you all the way. And Alandra tells her, your support means the world to me, and thank you for being there for me. And Shelly thinks this was meant to happen, but Shelly needs Alandra help plan her. She been planning a date for Ace, and so she wants to do s'mores by the fire pit. Shelly pulls Ace for a chair, and Ace was like, you pulling me? And he was shocked. And he said, oh, and she leads him to the fire pit. And before they even make it all the way, he just like, oh, he was excited to see this, and he loves the date she planned. He gives her a kiss, but he has to show her how to do the s'mores or whatever, because she didn't know what to do. They eat the s'mores, and she just got chocolate everywhere, and he told her, you just be wasting stuff. He said, you're gonna have to stop doing it. And he cleaned her mouth with his hand, and it was so cute. And he tells her this is probably one of the most thoughtful things that has ever happened to him. He is missing a piece of home, and she brought a piece of his childhood when him and his mom and his brother, where he felt like life couldn't get any better. In his confessional, Ace said he is very careful on who he gives his affection to, and it takes him time, and now that he has got to that point with Shelly, it makes him want to go 10 times harder and give her everything he has. Baby, they are smiling so hard, Shelly said her cheeks were hurting. Baby, I live for this. And Iris tells Pepe he was really jumping with the baby, and she told her mom everything. She said she tells her mom everything, and her mom is picky about the guy she dates. He said he been wanting to kiss her all day, and he asked if she wanted to do it now, and they kiss, and Iris is all giddy, even though y'all not ready. And Amaya gets a text and it says, Islanders, the hideaway is now open. Please choose one couple to spend a private night together. They all scream out. Well, Huda said Amaya and Brian name first, and everybody was like Amaya and Brian. I don't know why people thought Shelly and Ace was going. Like, I didn't see that at all. Huda said we all heard Amaya and Brian couldn't keep their hands off each other last night, so now they can get some privacy. Ma'am, I think you the one needs to go get some privacy, because y'all be in the bed in between folks and still getting it in. Child, you can't say a word. And you on your second? So Brian and Amaya are so excited. The girls help her pick out an outfit. Amaya said she needs to shave the crack of her ace. But baby, she ready. She said the girls gotta help her find some lingerie because she only packed granny pants. There's something wrong with that girl. And they convinced Brian to walk out with just his boxers. The girls, you hear them hyping up Brian and Brian up. Alandra said, damn, how ready they think she is. She ain't ready yet. So girls made a song saying eat the kitty in the hideaway. Amaya can't dance to save her life. Brian heard Amaya laughing before she even made it down the steps. And he's standing there with whipped cream and boxes. The boys singing, oh, it's time to play Amaya and Brian in the hideaway. And the girls holler out, eat the kitty in the hideaway. It was so fun. This was a very funny and good uplifting episode. So well, I wonder, is this the last week? Is Sunday the last? It says Sunday was the finale, but are we getting a reunion? How dark this season was, I don't know, but I really think it was some stuff left unsaid that need to be said. Like, we need to see who's still cool and who ain't. So yeah, that was my review for Love Island season 7 episode 31, I believe. But like, share, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later. Talk to you guys later. Bye.